Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. We are into the next morning now, and the grass is fully grown and ready to harvest over here on field 20, as you can see. And our other two fields are ready to harvest too, 11 and 13. Actually, just as I was hitting record, 11 just matured to its final growth state. So I think we're ready to get busy. Let's get the harvester out. And I should mention, during the night I was doing some fertilizer contracts, which is why my fertilizer wagon is very dirty. The tractor is a little bit dirty, not quite so much, but we'll get that cleaned off in a moment. Before we do that, though, let's get the harvester going. Collecting our crop. And I think I'll use the New Holland for carting today, so that we can use the case to start mowing grass and baling. And I've gotten myself stuck. There we go. So I think today is going to be a good day. We ought to be able to make a fairly significant amount of cash on all of our crop and a bunch of silage bales. I still have those two silage bales sitting next to the road over here that I still haven't picked up. So we'll want to do that before too long. I'll probably just save those for the cows, and we'll sell whatever we get today. I'm going to start. Let me back up to get the noise down. I'm going to start with field 13 on the harvesting, just because that's the more mature one, and I want to make sure we get it all before any of it withers. Wow. I don't know if I turned up my headphones or something, but this thing seems really loud to me right now. Came in the cab to get away from the noise. Okay. Let's fire this up. I'll get it started. And then we'll hire a worker. Okay. Now that I think about it, I think I'll use the New Holland. Yeah, and you know what? We have enough money now that we can buy a rake. And we might even be able to get a tedder as well. Yeah, we can get a cheap tedder for 11,000. That would leave us with 18 left. And we can get a cheap windrower, the cheapest of the windrowers, for 10. Actually, I think what I'll do instead is I'll get the better windrower. I've almost got enough to get this windrower, which is the one that I really want. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that windrower because that'll make the baling much quicker. Let's wash this off. I don't need hay yet because I don't have cows. Well, let me think about this for a minute. Ideally, we'll get enough money from this harvest that we can get cows. So I probably do want to keep the ability to make and bale hay. But let's put away the spreader here and get the tipper out to the field. And I think I will try to do it with... I'll try to bale with the New Holland and see how it goes. Well, I know that I can bale with the New Holland. I just haven't tried. I think the reason I didn't use the New Holland last time was because I wanted to bale and mow at the same time. But I'm not going to do that this time. And I'm going to stow this front weight over here. Oops. Because I don't think I really need it. Now, the other exciting thing is that since the last episode, the latest patch has been released. So we now have access to the Terraforming tool. So we can make changes to our terrain when we so desire. Probably take advantage of that at some point, at least to paint some different textures down. I think when we put this together in the first place, we managed to keep all the ground around the main farm mostly flat. But I wouldn't mind cleaning up the textures on the ground. Make it all look like concrete, for example. Get rid of the curbs and stuff that are in places that don't make sense. Okay, so let's go up here and empty this harvester. I think I can catch it before it gets to the end of the row. Yeah. And then we'll go and get ready to start mowing. Oh, this was good timing. So on another save that I've been playing, I had a harvester where the header was starting to get low on repair. It was down to, I don't know, I think it was down to around 50 or 60%. And the harvester started to go more slowly. Normally it goes at 10 kph. And in that case, it was slowing down to 9. And then when I repaired it, it sped back up again. So that's something that we ought to keep in mind. That the repair or lack thereof does start to have some effect. Even if it's not at 0. That was something that I was wondering about earlier. Okay. So let's get this mower on the front. Actually, I should really have regular tires on for this. Let's put on some different tires. Okay, I'll repair first. Yes. And then customize. I've never had wide tires on this. Or wheel weights. Okay. Let's get standard tires with wheel weights. That looks better. Seems more appropriate for mowing. So we got extra weight on the wheels in the back, which ought to help balance that load in the front. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to mow all of this or just the field? I think I'll just do the field because then I can get a worker on it and I don't have to do it all myself if I don't want to. That means I'm going to destroy some of the grass here. That's okay. Alright, here's the field. I'll go around a couple times myself first. And I think we'll be able to use the worker to mow, at least on the part that is the actual field. And where does that end? Right there, I think. Yeah. Is that the border of the field? Yeah, it looks like it's right here. It's hard to tell. Yeah, this tractor is having no problem at all with this mower. Yeah, it looks like that's the limit of the field. I'll take another trip around and then I'll put the worker on it, and hopefully having this extra space around the edge will help preserve some of the grass around the field in case I need some of that. So since we're expecting to have cows here pretty soon, it might be a good idea to get the tedder and at least turn a portion of this field into hay. But that means I won't be able to get the bigger windrower unless I increase my loan, which I really need to stop doing. Alright, put the worker on that. Great. Let's go empty him out again. I think I might be too late this time. Well, and I should really wait for it to get to the end so that I can get it on the right side. And by right side, I mean the left side. The correct side. This is what I should have said. And we picked up a pretty respectable amount of field area here. That's at least 2 more passes of the harvester up and down here. Okay. Let's see what would happen if we borrow a little bit more money. Okay. I still feel okay. I think we'll be all right. All right. So we're going to get the... We'll get the nice windrower. I could lease it. No, let's just buy it. Okay, and then the tedder, I need another few $1,000. Okay, and we'll get the, what's the difference? 8.7 versus 6. What's another $5,000? Okay. All right, still mowing. I'll take over. Forward. There we go. Whoa. Right, so what I'm thinking is we'll turn the whole field into hay, because I'm pretty sure you can wrap a hay bale and get silage. So I think we'll just turn the whole field into hay. We'll see how many bales we get. And then if I want to turn some of those bales into silage to sell them, then I'll do that. If not, then I'll just hold on to the hay. And it's probably going to depend on how much... Why is this so hard to turn all of a sudden? And I think ultimately it'll depend on how much we get from our canola harvest. If I get enough to actually buy the cow pen and some cows, then I'm going to want some hay. If not, then I might as well just turn it all into silage and sell it, because I'm going to have to wait for another harvest anyway, and I can grow more grass in the meantime. Well, this is awfully sloppy. You know what I should be doing is just doing it from both sides. I'm starting to miss my steering wheel. This kind of thing's a lot easier with the wheel, because it's really hard to make delicate turns with the controller. There were a few mods released today as well. There's a Lely, a set of Lely mowers, similar to this one that we have here. where there's a front mower and then a twin rear mower. And then there's the Lamborghini tractor, which we've had in previous versions of the game. And I'm trying to remember, but I'm not sure if I've ever actually bought the Lamborghini tractor. It never seemed to be the best option for me. Here we can take a look at it. $184,224 horsepower. It'll go up to 263. Can do a front loader. Yeah, it does look nice. Top speed is 60 kph, so that sets it apart from some of its competition. And 224 for 184. Yeah, I guess it's competitive with the case that I've got. All right, so I'm going to have to do this the hard way this time, since we got the pipe on the wrong side. Oh, on that filling silo that I have back at the farm, I went into the files and I modified the fill rate. By default, it's 2,000 liters per second, which I think is way too fast. In fact, I was having trouble when I was doing those contracts, because if I went to try to just get a couple thousand liters of fertilizer in that big spreader, I mean, the thing would be half full before I could stop it. And of course, by then, I've spent like half of my money on fertilizer that I didn't really need, just because I couldn't stop it fast enough. So I changed it to 500 a second, and it's much more reasonable now. It's not like an instant fill like I was before. Okay. Looks like we're almost done mowing here. I'm going to turn off the lights. The lights are great at night, but for anything less than nighttime, I just feel like the lights are kind of glaring and harsh. I don't really like to use them unless I really need them to see. Okay. So I'll just come off the field over here so I don't destroy any more of the rest of the grass than I have to. And I will put this away over here. And that way it'll be easy to wash it a little bit later. All right, let's go to the shop and pick up our new stuff. We'll use the tedder first. I'll see if we can bring them both back in one trip. We may be able to if we can attach one of those two implements to the front and the other one to the back. Then we can bring them both back in one trip. All right. Yeah, it looks like the... Can we get the tedder? We might be able to put the tedder on the front. Let's try it. Yeah, great. And then we'll trail the windrower. Awesome. I really should look for traffic, but it's kind of hard to do without head tracking. I mean, it's not hard, but you just have to stop and take the time to look both ways. And I think that's that's the part I don't like, is the stopping. Okay. Awesome. So, yeah, I'm really short on space. I need another shed. All right, so let's detach that. We'll detach that. Okay. So what the tedder does is it essentially just turns over the grass to help dry it. And that's what turns it into hay. So in real life, I think this would be a much longer process. You'd cut the grass, let it dry out a bit, and then you would run the tedder over it so that, you know, the parts on the bottom that were still damp would get out in the air. There's some over here too, so I'll just try to pick up all this stuff. And I don't know if they would ted it multiple times. I guess it would depend on how humid it is and all that kind of stuff, But in this case, it dries it instantly, which makes it convenient for us. Pardon me. And we're almost ready to empty again. So let's go take care of that. I think we can do the tedding with a worker too. Let me try it. Yep. Okay, and we got the pipe on the correct side now. Let's hurry before it turns around. Just made it. Let's take a look at canola prices. Looks like the best price is at the port southeast. Oh no, the train station mill. $13.34. Yeah, I think we're going to make a pretty good amount of money here. That's good. Okay, that's odd. There we go. Oh, strange. Not sure why it was confused there. Okay, so I'll take over the tedding. I think my worker may have missed a few spots up here. No, I think that's okay. I just missed a spot. Yeah, actually, I think I missed several spots. Let's make sure I get all this. If you do leave some untedded grass, then it won't get picked up by the baler when you come over with the baler. Usually when you have mixed materials and you go over it with a baler or a loading wagon, for example, it'll just take one of the two. Okay. I think that's all of that. Now let's go and grab our rake. And once again, try to figure out where to store all my stuff. Guess I can just leave this here for now. And I'm a little bit over time, but I'd kind of like to see this rake in action before I quit here. Alright, I'm going to drive straight through. Alright, so we turn that on, lower it, and this will make nice neat rows for me to pick up with the baler. And I'm going to go straight up and down. I'm not going to go across, because if I do that, then when I'm baling, then there's going to be bales at the end of the field when I'm trying to turn around to get these rows, and it makes it a little more harder. So I usually, when I'm windrowing for baling, I usually don't go around the field and then start going in rows. You know what, I didn't even check the horsepower requirements on this thing. It doesn't seem to be having any problem. Thankfully. All right, well, I'm going to finish raking this field. And tomorrow we will continue the harvest and start making hay bales. And then, like I said, once we have all the bales made, we'll decide if we want to wrap some of them to turn them into silage to sell for money, or whether we just keep them all and save them for the cows. So until then, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.